All right, great. So we'll do a few here. Like I said, a couple of reminders for today. Don't do anything that is painful. You can modify all these exercises that fit in a pain-free range. For example, you could do a partial motion of whatever exercise we're doing so that it's comfortable for you and so that you are not having pain with it. The exercises that we'll do on the ground, you can also do seated if you're not comfortable getting onto the ground, but it's a great way to stretch your body in a different way and target muscles in a different way. If you are able to get down to the ground, even if you need some help, if you have someone nearby or at home who could help you, that's a good option too. So let's scoot all the way to the front of our chair. Roll your shoulders down and back to bring your posture up tall. Let's get started with some overhead reaches. Stretch your arms up, look up at your hands, wide fingers, and then arms come down, neck rolls down. Let's cycle through that 10 times slowly, really feeling the stretch. Arms come up, look up overhead, stretch your fingers wide, and then arms come down. Bring your chin to your chest as your arms come down. 1, stretch up, look up at your hands, and roll your neck down forward. 2, really feeling a stretch through this. Stretch up, wide fingers and chin to chest. 3, reach up overhead, stretch, and chin to chest as you come back down. 4, wide fingers, stretch up overhead and back down. 5, reach up and stretch down. 6, reach up, look up, stretch down. 7, reach up overhead, arms go slowly down. 8, let's do 2 more. Big stretch up, wide fingers, chin to chest coming down. 9, and last one. Up and tucking your chin down. 10. All right, so we're going to do some weight shifting forward. So reach forward, stretch your fingers wide, and then squeeze your shoulder blades back. And you can even lean back a little bit with this one. Let's do that 15 times. 1, squeeze those shoulder blades back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really lean forward. 7, squeeze your shoulder blades back. 8, good. 9, 10, 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, I'm going to have us come down to our mats to continue doing some of our warm-up exercises. You can modify these to sitting, but if you have a mat nearby and you want to practice these on all fours, go ahead and come down. Just seeing your message, Robin, we'll just need our floor mats and a couple hand weights as well. So make your way down. We're going to start with a few stretches and then we'll get into our power moves in this position too. At the top of our class, use it as more of a stretch. Looks like people are making their way down. Maybe I'll turn this to a better angle. So I want us to rock back into a child's pose stretch to start. So for this stretch, you want to sit your hips back, really feeling a stretch through your low back, and walk your arms forward. And let's hold this for a couple seconds and then rock back up. If you're seated in your chair, I want you to do a forward fold movement while we do that. So reaching down towards the ground to feel a stretch in your low back, and holding that. And we can do it at different angles too. So we'll alternate the different angles that we're doing it at. And we'll kind of cycle through. So let's all either sit your hips back or reach forward in your chair. We'll hold for a couple seconds here. And then rock back forward. And now I want you to either sit your hips to the right so that my arms are reaching the opposite way. And if you're in your chair, reach forward to the side so that you're kind of walking your arms to the side as you hold that stretch. Come back up to the middle. Now let's go back to the middle position, sitting straight back, hold that stretch, come back up, and now let's go to the other side. So either sitting your hips to the side and walking your hands across, or if you're seated, try to walk your hands to the side at an angle. Good, come back up. So let's cycle through that. Let's go to your other side, sit your hips back, arms come across, and back up. Now straight to the middle, sit back or reach forward, stretch your arms as far as you can out, come back up, and now to the other side. Hips go to the side, arms can walk across, so you feel a stretch all along the side of your body. Let's cycle through that 2 more times. Now to your other side, walk your arms out, come back up, sit your hips straight back, and back up, and then to the side, walk your arms across. 1 more cycle through. Sit your hips to the side, arms come across, feel that stretch, elongate your spine. Back up, sit back, arms stretch out. And to the side, sit your hip down and back up. So we're going to move into a cat-cow. So for this, make sure you can see my back. Yeah. So you're going to round out your upper back. My elbows stay straight for all of this. I'm rounding out, and then my elbows stay straight, but I'm dropping my back down. So I'm kind of making an arch with my back. I'm arching up, and then I'm letting that arch fall. But my elbows don't bend. I don't come down like that. My elbows stay locked out as I can round up and round down. If you're seated, you can do the same move with your hands here, rounding your back out and then dropping your back down. You will bend your elbows a little bit if you're seated, but really trying to feel a stretch in the middle of your spine. That's where we're working on some motion and some mobility in that area. So we'll cycle through slowly with these. Let's do 10 repetitions together. Round your back up and drop down. It's 1. Go ahead and round up and drop down. 2. Round up, drop down. 3. Round up. 4. Going nice and slow. Don't go to the point of pain. Round up. 5. And up. 6. Up. 7. Up. 8. Up. 9. Up. 10. All right. At any point, if you need to break off your arms, you can come back onto your knees and kind of shake your arms out. I know it can be a lot of pressure on them, especially when we're doing them slower. It really forces your shoulders to be stable. So the next movement that we're going to do in this position, keeping your back super flat, is kicking your leg out straight and then pulling that knee in towards your chest. So I'll show you from the side, kicking my leg back, and then I'm pulling that knee in towards my chest. So I go past my other leg. If you're seated, why don't you try stretching your leg out to the side and then pulling it up into a march. So I'll show you from this side, stretching your leg out to the side and then pulling it up and in. If you're seated, this will be your move while we're doing our leg kick on the mats. So let's stick to the same side when we first do this, as opposed to alternating back and forth. You really want to try to keep your back flat. What I want you to avoid is as you kick your leg back, try to prevent rotating your hips away. I don't know if you can see that, but instead, so try to go, my back should stay so flat here. Like if I had a glass of water, the water wouldn't spill. You want to make sure that as you kick back, you're not rotating away so that your hips tip up. So you shouldn't be rotating, you should stay super flat as your leg kicks back. So let's try 10 on one leg, then we'll shake it out and do the other side. Remember, if you're sitting, you can kick that leg out to the side and then pull your knee back in as you come back to the middle. All right, here we go. So kick back, 1, pull that knee in. 2, same leg first. 3, good job. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake it out, get ready for the other leg. You can come onto your knees or even sit back into a child's pose stretch to release the tension in your back. And let's get started with the other leg. Same idea. Go ahead and kick back. This is 1, and then pull that knee in. 2, pull your knee in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now we're going to add another piece to it. So when you kick one leg out, I want you to extend your opposite arm in front. So I'm kicking out my left leg and my right arm, and then I'm gonna have you alternate for this side for this time. So then my right leg and my left arm are extending at the same time. So if you're seated, this will be a time for you to practice that opposite and arm raise together. Trying to get the opposite sides and really keeping your posture tall while you're doing your marching. So that's the seated option for this exercise. So let's alternate back and forth and do 20 all together. Again, really try to keep your back very flat. If you're losing your balance, try not to kick your leg back as far or reach your arm as far. You can do a smaller movement. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, nice job. 4, 5, if you're seated, reach your arm high. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, shake it out, take a rest. You can rock back into a child's pose or come back onto your knees and give your shoulders a rest. I want to do one more round of just that final exercise, the opposite arm and leg reach or the seated marching in your chair. And then we're going to move on to our power moves. All right, so let's get set back up for that opposite arm and leg raise or your opposite arm and leg marching. If you're sitting in your chair, we'll do them together 20 more times. Keep your core nice and tight, belly button towards your spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job, everybody. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Great job. Give it a shake, give it a rest. We're going to stay in this position. We have our power moves coming. If you want to grab a drink of water, feel free to do that. Give everyone a moment to transition if they need a break from this position. I know it's a lot of pressure through the shoulders. It's a really great position to help us brace our core and practice that core activation. So those are great stretches and exercises to kind of add into your routine if you're looking for something different or a different position. It's a really nice way to help our core muscles that wrap around us like a corset really brace and be stable. So after everyone takes a break, we'll move on to our power moves on hands and knees position. All of the power moves you can do seated if you want to do them seated. I'll show both variations. So for the seated power up to get started, I'm going to show the seated version first, and then I'll come back to the ground to show that position. So if you're seated for the power moves, the power up is leaning down onto your legs and then stretching your arms back wide, really trying to push that posture up tall. So if you're on all fours, the power up position, we have a couple versions of how we can do this. You can either do it from a chair, so that you're leaning down onto the chair and then stretching your arms back. That's a really good option if you have a hard time controlling your balance from here coming to the ground. If you notice that you come down pretty quickly, maybe you want to do the option from the chair so that it's less of a distance, because we're doing the same thing from here, bending down and pushing back up like that. All right, and then coming back down to this position. It looks like most people are back. Let's get started with the power up. Let's do 10 repetitions in a row, no matter what position you're in, whether you're in your chair or on all fours or even leaning against a chair. We'll do 10 of them here. So come down and come up. 1, nice and controlled, coming back down and push up. 2, down. 3, nice job, everybody. Down. 4, down. 5, down. 6, down. 7, down. 8, down. 9, down. 10. Our next move is the power rock. So on all fours, you're rocking back into a child's pose stretch that we did in our warm-up, and then pushing your hips to lean forward to stretch the front of your hips like that. So rocking back and forth. If you're seated in your chair, you're doing that cross body reach, stretching your leg out, looking up at your hand, and then switching to the other side. Cross body reach, extending your opposite leg out. So that's your move while we do the power rock. Either version, let's do 10 of these. Let's count backwards from 20 by 2. So we'll start at 20 and count with me. Rock back. This is 20. Rock back. 18. Back. 16. Back. 14. Back. 12. Back. 10. Back. 8. Back. 6. Back. 4, and one more. Back. 2. All right. Moving on to our power twist. So this is where we're reaching up, looking up at our hand, and then tucking that arm through like you're pushing your shoulder down towards your mat, twisting through that way. If you're seated in your chair, you're starting open, turning to clap, opening to reset, and then twisting the other way. So I'll have us in both positions, alternating side to side. Let's do 10 in a row of these. And take your time, make sure you're really feeling a good stretch when you twist. So we'll start, open up, and tuck through or twist. 1, switch sides, reach up, look up at your hand, and twist, tuck through. 2, switch sides again, back and forth, up, and twist. 3, reach up, and twist. 4, reach up, look up at your hand, and twist. 5, reach up, and twist. 6, reach up. 7, reach up. 8, 2 more, reach up. 9, and up. 10. Awesome job, everybody. Last move in this position is our power step. So for this one, taking a step forward so that your foot is flat, and coming up into the power up position before transitioning to the other leg. This is also a great option to do holding on to a chair if you have trouble bringing your leg up far enough. It's much easier to bring your leg forward if you're hanging on to something there. So that's a great option if you need a little bit of assistance bringing your leg far enough forward. Otherwise, if you're sitting in your chair, this is where you'll practice that exaggerated step out and an exaggerated step in, going back and forth, one leg and then the other. So let's alternate side to side. And let's do 20 of these, and then we're done with the floor moves today. All right, let's count up by 3s as we do this. Last floor exercise. Go ahead and step. 3. Switch legs. Step. 6. Step. 9. Very nice. Step. 12. Step. 15. Step. 18. Step. 21. Step. 24. Step. 27. Step. 30, we're halfway there. Step. 33. Step. 36. Step. 39. Step. 42. Step. 45. Step. 48. Step. 51. 3 more. Step. 54. Step. 57. Last one. And step. 60. Awesome. Make your way back up to your chair if you're on the ground. So you can keep that leg up and push up with that leg or through a chair next to you to come into standing. Nice job. That was almost a full 30 minutes of floor work. Great job. So I'll give everyone a water break, but I'm just going to start to explain what we're going to do next. we are going to do kind of a brain exercise that also incorporates stepping in different directions. So I'm going to, I did this once before, a few months ago. This is called an app called Clock Yourself. And the app is going to call out directions that you want to step in. So you could actually do this sitting too, or you can do it standing. And we'll do it just half of the clock first. So stand on the right side of your chair so that you can hang on. And you want to think that you're you want to pretend like you're standing in the middle of the center of a clock, and in front of you would be 12 o'clock. And so we're only gonna be using 1 o'clock through 6 o'clock, kind of like the right side of your body. So 12 o'clock is forward, 1 o'clock would be slightly to the right, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock would be directly to your right, 4 o'clock would be slightly behind that, 5 o'clock is back at that angle, and then 6 o'clock is straight back. So for the first part of this exercise, you're only going to be using your right foot to step because we're only stepping to the right side. Now you can incorporate your arms as we step because the app is going to call out random numbers to you that you'll have to think to and step to what number that is. So if it said 2 o'clock, I would step forward and I would stretch my arms out and then back. And I'm going to do it with everyone the first few rounds. And then I'm just going to play the numbers next to the speaker so that you don't have me as an example and you have to think about what number you're stepping to without the visual assistance of watching me. So we'll start with just our right side, like I mentioned. Let me adjust my settings here. And we'll start a little bit slower so that you can kind of get the feel for what it is. And then we'll start to bump it up a little bit. You could do the same thing sitting, just tapping your foot out at that direction, but go ahead and come into standing if you're not there yet. And we'll get started with this. I'll turn my volume up so that you can hear, make sure that you can hear this well. I'll set it right next to the speaker. All right, so let's get started. It's gonna play the, in order, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the first time it goes through, and then we'll start doing them randomly.
12.
So 12, straight forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of back at an angle. 5, 6. So now they're coming randomly.
5, 1, 2, 6, 12, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12.
Give me a thumbs up if you guys could hear that okay. Okay, looks like most people could. I'm trying to aim the speaker down at it. So now I'm going to switch it. Everyone did well with that. I will still be part of it this next time before I step back and just have you listen. I'm just going to update it so it's the full clock face. So it'll go all the way around. So you'll have to give yourself some room. You may want to step behind your chair so that you can still hold on with one hand if you want, or you could step back so you have a lot of space around you to do the full full clock. I'm going to speed it up a little bit too. Again, I'm going to have it play the full first round just as in order, and then it'll start to do them randomly. And we'll do it for a little bit longer this time. I'll still do it with you to get started. All right, so it's going to play the prompt in order for the first sequence. Here we go. 12, 1,
2,
2,
3,
3, coming a little bit faster.
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7, the other way now.
8,
8,
9,
9, straight out to the left.
10,
10,
11,
11.
8,
Now they're coming randomly.
1, 10, 6,
Nice job, everybody.
5, 4, 12, 11, 3, 2, 9, 7,
Nice job.
4, 10, 6, 1, 8, 7, 2, 3, 5, 9, 11, 12, 5.
Nice. Everyone did really well with that. I'm going to play the same thing. We'll do the same speed. Except this time I'm not going to do it with you, just so that you just have to hear for the cues. And I won't be the extra assistance to follow along with me. So same pattern. If you get tripped up and miss one, that's okay. Just keep going with it. And stop incorporating your arms too. Keep up with that. So one more time with the same thing, and then I'm going to change it a little bit. Ready? Here we go.
12,
Yep, so you guys do it along with this sound.
2, 3, 4, 5,
It's doing the same clock face again
6,
first, in order.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 1, 7,
So now they're coming randomly.
2, 6, 10,
Nice, everybody.
8, 4, 11, 5,
30 seconds more.
12, 6, 4, 7, 1, 5, 3, 10, 8, 9, 2, 11, 2.
Nice. So now that we've got that down, I'm going to switch it up and make it more interesting. So this first one will be the months of the year. So the same pattern, like the same clock face, except one will be January, and the instructor won't call out 1, she'll say January instead. You would step forward towards that 1 on the clock face. And then February would be 2, March would be 3, April would be 4. They'll call out May for that 5 o'clock position. June will be 6. July is 7. August is 8. September is 9. They'll call October for that 10 o'clock position. November for 11. And December for 12. So you won't hear the numbers, you'll just hear the months as the prompt. So we'll do them in order again the first time. I'll do it with you for the first round. All right, so let's get started.
December,
12,
January, February,
2, Yep, you guys got it.
April, May, June,
Straight back for June.
July,
Now other foot.
August, September, October, November, September,
So now they're coming randomly.
July, May, February, November, April, June, March, January,
Nice job.
October, December, August,
Nice. All right, so I'm gonna do it, or I'm not going to do this time. I'll have you guys do it by yourself. I'm gonna make it a little bit faster now that we're kind of getting the hang of it. And it will not play the prompts in the first sequence. It's gonna jump right into random. Everybody ready? A little bit more of a challenge, a faster speed this time. Here we go.
June, May, November, October,
Good.
September, August,
Volume high, please.
The volume wasn't high enough that time.
Yes.
I was holding it. Maybe I should have set it down. My volume is up as high as I can, but maybe I'll just turn the orientation of it.
I couldn't hear it either, Katie.
You couldn't hear it either? Maybe I was blocking with my hand.
March,
Is that better or no?
September,
Good.
August,
Okay. Here, I'll start it over. I think I just shouldn't mess with it. I won't hold it at all. I'll just leave it there. All right. So we'll get started here. Jump in if you still can't hear it, but I won't mess with it. I'll leave it down like it was the first time. Here it goes.
August, March, May, October, December, November, February, September, July, April, June, January, March, November, May, April, September, December, July, October,
20 seconds left.
January, August, June, February, December, April, October, March, May, February.
Nice. So one more version of this, just to mix it up a little bit more, and then we'll move on. So instead of having a number to associate with a different area that you're stepping, we're gonna have a color in a different quadrant. So upper right will be green. Back right is blue. Back left is red. And upper left is yellow. So let's do that pattern together a couple times just to get the just to get it memorized, which one is which. So upper right is green. Back right is blue. Back left is red. And upper left is yellow. So let's continue stepping to that pattern again. Max, you can see my feet a little bit better. So this is green, blue, red, and yellow. I'll go one more time with that together. Green, blue, red, and yellow. So the speaker is going to call out the color this time. I'll go a little bit slower. We'll back it down. And it won't use numbers at all. It will just do those colors. So I'll do it with you guys for this one.
Green,
So green,
blue,
blue, red,
yellow,
and yellow. All right, now they're gonna come random.
yellow, blue, red, green, yellow, blue, red, green, red, blue, yellow, green, green, yellow, blue, red, green, red, blue, yellow, red.
Nice. All right, thanks for participating in that. We're gonna move on to our last type of exercise today. I have one round of intervals for us to do. I wasn't sure how much time we'd have left with that clock yourself. But it's great to practice those brain challenges, those brain games. It's called dual tasking, having to coordinate or think about two different things at the same time. So for our intervals today, I have 4 exercises. I think I'll have us go through them, let's see, twice for 45 seconds each, a little bit shorter intervals so that we have time for a cool down. So I'm gonna use weight. I think for all of these, but you can modify them without weight for whatever ones you need to. So we're gonna do a cross body reach. So with one weight, I'm gonna punch up and across. And I'm gonna twist my body to that side. So that's your first exercise. The second one is a chair squat with a tap. So I'm just gonna hold my weight in front and I'm gonna squat so that I hit the chair, but I'm not gonna sit down. So I'm just touching the chair and then coming back up. That's the second exercise. The third one is called a curtsy lunge. So it's similar to a backward stepping lunge, but instead of going straight back, I'm kind of stepping to the side. You can see my leg there. It's like a curtsy. So you're stepping behind the other foot to lunge. Maybe if I can get an angle better view. So I'm stepping behind like that to lunge. Or you can just do a backward stepping lunge if that feels hard to coordinate. You can do it holding on to weight, or you can do it holding onto your chair. You can alternate side to side. So that's our third exercise. And the fourth one is a diagonal chop. So holding onto your weight, twisting up and across. So different than the punch that we did because you're going to keep your shoulders square as you twist. At halfway through, I'll tell you to switch sides. So we'll do one round through. We'll take a slightly longer break than the 30 seconds that you'll get during these intervals. And then we'll do 2 rounds today before our cool down. All right. So we're going to begin with that cross body punch. You can do with or without weight. You could also hold on to the chair with one hand for a little bit of support. Ready? 45 seconds. Here we go. So punching across, back and forth. Nice job. Short intervals today, so put lots of intensity into it. And we are already halfway done. Keep punching back and forth. See if you can come up on your toes when you twist. Five seconds left. All right, take a rest. We have 30 seconds to rest before our squat to chair. You can do this with or without weights. If you have trouble squatting down that far down to your chair, you can just do a regular squat to a depth that you feel comfortable with. You have about 5 seconds to get ready for this chair squat. All right, let's begin. So just squatting until your hips touch the chair and then back up. Nice job. You want to think about keeping your posture tall so that you're not bending over as you go down, that just your hips go back. Good job, everybody. Less than 20 seconds to go. Five seconds left. Get a couple more in. And rest. 30 seconds to rest. Next, we're doing that curtsy lunge. This is the goofy one. So it's a backward stepping lunge, but I'm stepping a little to the side so that my foot is crossed over behind. And I'm going to switch. I'm going to alternate back and forth. If you want to hold on to the chair while you do this for a little bit of support, that's a great option as well. If that's confusing, you can do a regular backward stepping lunge. 3 seconds to get ready. All right, let's begin. So I'm just holding my weight up by my chest for a little bit of added challenge. Nice, you guys are doing well with that. So you are stepping back into a lunge. See if you can bend that front knee after you step. Nice, yep, 10 seconds to go. All right. So last exercise that we're going to do today is that for this round of intervals is that diagonal chop. So it's different than the twist that we did in the first exercise because I want you to keep your shoulders square. We'll stick to the first side for the first half, and then I'll tell you when to switch. Still have 10 seconds to catch your breath. All right, begin. So just one direction first. Shoulders stay square. Going up at this diagonal and down to your hip. Almost like you're rowing and pulling the paddle back. All right, let's switch sides. Now other hip to opposite shoulder. Nice job. Five more seconds. All right, great. So let's take about a minute to rest before we start back at the beginning. One more round through those exercises. They're short 45-second intervals, and then we'll finish with a cool down. So you still have over 30 seconds to rest for a moment, get some water, sit if you need to. We'll be starting back with that cross body punch, that cross body reach. If these felt easy the first round and you didn't use weights, maybe try with weight for some of them. If anyone felt too challenging, you can drop the weight at any time. You can always give yourself support with your chair if you want a little bit of balance. All right, about 5 seconds, then we're going to get back with the cross body punch. 45 seconds. Again, these will go quick. All right, here we go. So as you twist, try and point that toe. Punching across your body. Put some oomph behind the punch. Good job, 20 seconds left. Five, 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds to rest before we transition to our chair squat. So you're not sitting all the way down, you're just squatting till you feel the chair on your bottom and then coming back up. You can do this with or without weights. If you want something to hold on to, you can just do a regular squat. 3 more exercises, then we're home free. 3, 2, and 1. Tap down to the chair and then back up. Nice job, everybody, keeping your chest up tall. Halfway done. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 30 seconds to transition. Our next exercise, we're going to be standing forward again. This is our curtsy lunge. So that's a backward stepping lunge, but I'm actually stepping my foot behind my other leg as I lunge back. If that's confusing, you can just do a standard lunge, stepping backwards. You can always hold on to something in front of you if you want some support, or you can add weight for a challenge. I'm going to alternate my feet and go side to side. All right, let's begin. Now it's kind of hard to exactly see where I'm stepping my camera. One's view isn't too big. Good job, we're halfway done. So these squats and lunges that we've used weight for today, a great way that you can progress these as you get stronger is by increasing your weight. A great home option is to use a gallon jug. All right, rest. 30 seconds before our final exercise. A gallon of water, a gallon of milk would be 8 pounds. So you could even like fill up an old one halfway or all the way to be able to increase the amount of weight you're using. That's a great way to progress your strength with lunges and squats like you just did, bulking up the weight that you're using to make it heavier. About 10 seconds before we do that diagonal chop, our last exercise today. 3, 2, and 1. So my shoulders stay square as I'm chopping. Sticking to the same direction, I'll tell you when to switch. Go ahead and switch sides. So now it's from the other hip to the opposite shoulder. Still keeping my shoulders square, my hips square, not rotating with this one. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Grab some water, have a seat. We're going to finish with some cool down stretches. I said awesome today.
Katie, that backwards curtsy thing just kind of was enough unknown just to kind of send my brain into, whoa, what are we doing?
No, and I didn't leave as much time as I thought for these, so I didn't have too long to explain it. But it's kind of like if you could think about curtsy, and it's just a different variation of a lunge. So everyone come back to their chair, grab some water. We'll start with an overhead reach, reaching arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale as your arms come up. And exhale, arms down. One more, inhale. And exhale. We worked our shoulders a lot today. Let's stretch those out. Bring one across your body and pull it towards you with your other arm. Let's hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch arms. Pull that arm towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open up into a chest stretch. So I'm going to bend my elbows just a little bit and then draw my shoulder blades back. You want to feel a stretch across the front of your chest here on your pecs. So you can kind of push your chest forward if you're not feeling it. We'll hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring your hands behind you. So you're kind of clasping them back behind you like this and pull your shoulders down. Hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's stretch out our necks. Bring your ear to your shoulder. Make sure your shoulders are down. And you can use this hand to pull. This hand tucks behind your back. Should feel a stretch all through here. We'll hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Roll your head to the other side. Switch arm position. And we'll hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Roll your head back to the middle and slowly up. We'll stretch out our legs. Stretch one knee out in front of you. Keep that knee straight as you bend forward. And whenever you feel the stretch, you can stop there. We'll hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch legs. One leg comes out straight. Keep your knees straight as you bend forward at your hips and hold there when you feel a stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll finish there for today. Awesome job. Enjoyed spending the morning with you guys, and I will see you next Monday.